Oh, 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 oh. Lift your head, feel the pride, we've come so far. A voice is strong, shining bright like a guiding star. Built with love, bound by truth, it's who we are. New journal and guide, we've raised the bar.
Welcome to NJGPOD, the official podcast of New Journal and Guide. Today we have a special guest for you, CEO of S.O.C.K.S, Saving Our Community Kids Services. Annette Dunbar is a powerhouse in youth ministry and community leadership from Virginia Beach, with a legacy spanning over 48 years of services. As the 12th of 16 children, she built her foundation within the Virginia Beach public school system and later earned a degree in human services. Since joining the New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ in 1971, Annette has been instrumental in establishing programs that has become a model for churches nationwide. Recognized for her profound impact, evident by prestigious awards like the Humanitarian Award and the Unsung Hero Award, Annette continues to uplift her community, empowering youth and families to thrive. We're honored to have her share her story, her journey, her insights, and vision for a brighter future on NJGPOD. Stay tuned.
Every story told, no dream will die. Together, hand in hand, we'll climb so high. Our legacy will sing and never lie. In the ink, in the print, our truth
Good
is
day,
found.
Miss Annette. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Tony. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. It's such an honor to have you on the show, especially in short notice. Man, I look at your resume and it's just amazing. All the work you've done over these years. So growing up as one of 16 children.
Yes, 16, 8 girls and 8 boys.
Wow.
Well, of course, growing up we had 16. It wasn't just our kids in the house. We might have had nieces and nephews. You might have had somebody from the neighborhood in the house. So how did it shape it? Well, just basically when our parents fed the 16 or however many kids were in the house, they fed everybody. And so that's how we grew
Wow.
up. Our family grew up sharing with everyone. If there was a need in the community, my dad didn't ask any questions. We would tell him, hey, this person needed this. And we watch our parents. We watch our mother, the young people, mother, the people in the neighborhood, in the community, at the church. And so that just drifted down to basically all of my family members, all of my sisters and brothers. And so that just dwindled down in the community. So as we were able to do that in the house, that's all we knew was sharing.
It was
And
second
so
nature.
that was it.
Wow. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Educated in human services. Well, this came on later. So what did shape your lifelong dedication to your ministry?
My lifelong dedication, probably, which I know it was my church, because we was introduced to the church when I was about 8 years old. I was in the 3rd grade, and so just being there and listening and being taught by the ministry there, that helped shape everything that I do in the ministry. Because I remember when I was probably about 15 or so, one of the preachers that came in, he told my pastor, this is one young lady that young people are going to follow for the rest of her life. And I felt God telling me to be an advocate for the youth. I didn't even know what an advocate was. I just heard that word, to be an advocate for the youth. And young people, and he said one thing, he said, young people are going to follow her for the rest of her life. And so that was when I was a teenager. And so that actually followed me all through my life. And God would just give us visions to help the youth. And we all just grew up together.
That's interesting. So do you feel like he sowed a seed into you, or it was just profound that he knew?
Well, I think that it was already there. he just confirmed what I already was doing in the ministry.
Wow.
Because by the time I was 15, we were already doing Sunday school, doing ministry things in the church. So he just confirmed what God had already put in my spirit. As a young person, I didn't understand what it was, but as older person now, I do understand. It was just God just giving me visions and things to help the young people, and they all just took to me, and I could just see what to do with each one of them. And so that's where the foundation started then.
Wow. Wow. So the church played a key role in building these fundamental programs.
Oh, the church played the highest role. You're right. The church played the highest role because they kept us in prayer. They, back then, the old mothers would pray for you, put the olive oil on you, and we would fast and pray. And oh yeah, they kept us straight back then. And so as them praying over us, they were basically protecting us, and God was just putting his anointing on the young people. And so that's where I know the foundation came from the church, because once I got there, my understanding started opening up more, and I can understand what to do, where to go, and how to do specific things.
I looked at your resume, and you have this servant heart. You was like one of the first ushers, the first one into Bible study.
Yeah. As kids, the church began probably late 70s and then early 71. So the church was not even a year old, actually, when we got there. So we ended up being the first kids. So they needed ushers, not just me, but some of the other young ladies and things in the church. I remember the pastor would say, hey, I had to usher at the front door, and he was like, when I put my hand up like this, that means come give me some water. I didn't ever look at him. I was supposed to be giving him water. I was like, oh no, I don't want to do it. But I ended up doing it here and there,
Yeah.
But it was just training us, yes, we were first ushers, choir members, because we were the first, some of the first kids there.
Yeah. Understood. So which programs that you developed with the help of your church that stood out the most for you?
Ooh, a lot. I'm trying to think. A couple of them that stand out the most, that they even running even till today. We did, Emmanuel Thurgood was having basically cookouts and things. He had maybe 2 or 3 cookouts. And one of my friends ended up giving me a box of school supplies. And so I called Emmanuel, hey, can I bring these school supplies? He's like, oh, yeah. It was during Labor Day time. And I only had 100 pieces, not 100 backpacks, but only 100 pieces. And so we ended up giving them, we prayed over them first. Mm-hmm. Before we even gave because there were so many kids at the cookout, I was like, oh, no, I don't have enough. And we prayed over them. I asked God, I said, do these school supplies just like you did the 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread. And don't you know, with all those kids out there, they picked up what they needed, and we still had school supplies left over.
Wow.
And so that started, and so the next year, people started donating. And then the different pastors picked it up, and they added more and more. And so now, if you ever come to our Labor Day event, there's like thousands of people out there for the back to school event. And it started with Emmanuel Thurgood with his cookout. And then my friend that was one of the supervisors for one of the dollar stores with that one box of school supplies. And so just to see the people in the community come from everywhere and how it's grown, it just blesses my heart every time I see it.
Wow. So with these programs, what impact do you expect to have? Like when you give out a book bag, what are you accomplishing? What do you think that does to the family?
Well, what I hope that it accomplish is if there's people who may not have the resources and that they know that they can always come to us on Labor Day and we'll do whatever we can to make sure that these children start off school the right way. Because believe it or not, here in Virginia Beach, not that there are people who do not have the resources. And so we want them to know, hey, we love you. And just like Jesus' heart is what we want to do, just show love and just make sure that they know that we are here for them.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's good to have people in the community who just love people, that's important in humanity. It's just so much that these programs do that we're just so not aware of. Some small thing can just relieve so much stress from a family home.
And yes, and then, they might come to get a book bag, but they'll come, we have a meal there. We have different things. Somebody might have a booth over here where they can get clothes. You have Mickey Hilliard. He brings his barbershop out there. The kids get a fresh haircut, the ones that need it. So there's so many other programs that have joined on with us that when the kids leave, they didn't just get a backpack. They might got the haircut. They might got something to eat, and then the fellowship. And the saints are there, able to introduce them to Christ. And then some of them might not even know that the church was back there, but they came back there to get a backpack, but they ended up finding the church, finding love, finding people doing fellowship. I've seen where we have music there. I've seen where people had different issues and just wanted prayer. And so we have a tent where you can just go over there and get prayer. And so it just ended up being a huge community. The mayor, the city council, they all show up. And that's one thing I can appreciate about it. And I'm looking back now at where we started with the one box of school supplies and the cookout. And then you have the whole street is blocked off. You have the bounce houses. They can play basketball. They have games. The men bring their cars. And so we have like a contest. The men bring what do you call the cars? The
show cars or the...
There you go, the antique cars.
Okay.
And so, their donation helps purchase supplies for the cookout and for the event that's happening.
You mentored so many young people. I mean, so many.
Yeah, and back then, even when starting, I don't even know if I even call it mentorship. I just knew that I was just being there for them, making sure in my heart, I never wanted the young people to have to go outside of the church to get anything. So the things that I knew that would entice them, I would do it there. We would have the Christmas balls and they were able to get in the limousine, and they were introduced to these things, whereas they might not have ever had a chance to even, do anything like that. And so now I'm looking at them striving. Some of them are doctors, lawyers, recording artists. They're colonels in the army. They're all over the country. And I look around, I'm like, oh my God, look at it. I still call them my babies. I know they're grown, some of them grandparents, and but I am so proud of them.
Wow. There's other programs and other young people who are trying to come up and do some similar stuff that you're doing, want to become community leaders. What advice do you have for those people who are coming behind you and trying to do something impactful for the community?
The first thing that I had to do was seek God for direction, because if you seek him for direction and he gives you what to do, you will never fail. That's the main thing. I've had people to ask me that. They were, how do you get all the kids? Or how do you get this program? Or how do you make it work? How do you make it be successful? You have to, whatever it is in your lane to do that, because I might see other people's programs, but that's their program. I have to seek God for, okay, which direction would you like for me to go? He might say, hey, I might just want you to do X, Y, Z. And if I do exactly what he says, then it ends up being successful. And another thing, if they connect with, you will have to connect with the kids and their parents. If you connect with the kids and their parents, if you made a friend, then the parents don't mind you letting the kids come. But you have to, if you're not in the community already working, if you just pop up, if they don't know you in this day and time, they will not support you. But you have to come there more than just when you want to do your program.
And you've been,
come when they have something going on.
Yeah.
Come and support those children. Make sure you show up other than when you're getting ready to do something. You know, a lot of times I have to go to court.
Oh.
I have to go and show up at court. Whether they at fault or not, I still go and let them know. And mama and the grandparents, like, we're so glad you're here. You know? And so I'll show up. And if they're graduating, if they send me an invitation, I'm going to be there.
Wow. And the next question, I guess I kind of jumped ahead, and I'm glad I cut myself off there because I was bringing up the fact that you've been recognized for several awards, one being the Humanitarian Award and the Unsung Hero Award. But that statement that you made of showing up to these, you're not just doing an event and like, okay, come here and wait for the people to show up. You're involved in their lives. You're going out and spending and finding them there. You're going to them. And I think that really kind of goes into the next question. I was asking about your awards, but wow, that's huge to actually, because most of these people I've been involved with, there's an event on Facebook or social media or the church calendar, and you show up. That's it.
Oh no, I'll go pick them up. I remember we had lost one of our pastors, so there was a particular time that we didn't have a leader that was installed yet at a particular time. And I would take my car and go into the neighborhoods, grab the kids. It might not be the regular church service time because, hey, their parents might not be awake the time that we have service, And I remember picking them up 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, bringing them out to the church, bringing my niece, and they would teach dance. I would order pizzas. Some of them just needed to get out from where they were. And I didn't realize one young lady, she said, we've only ever been to the corner. We've never been anywhere else. So in the neighborhood where they were drug selling, when I would take them home, they had to crawl through the drug dealers to get to their house, no matter what time of day and night. And so if we don't come and get them out and show them something different, then they don't know anything else. And so I would bring them out there, feed them. Sometimes there might be issues that if I didn't have the resources or the whatever it was that they needed, I connected with other social ministries. So, hey, this family might need a telephone bill paid or rent or food or there's some issues going on with medical. Can we connect? Can we get them beds? Can we get them clothes? And, I will bring other people out to help teach them. Hey, can you come and help me teach the young ladies? Hey, I would bring some of the men. Hey, these guys need some men to talk to. Can you come and help show them, just what to do as a young man? They're growing up. A lot of them didn't have fathers in the house. So I would reach out to other fathers or put them in that atmosphere. Wow. Where they say, oh, men shave, oh, guys cut their hair. Oh, okay. And then they started wanting cologne,
Wow.
And so if we can put them around the atmosphere of where they need to be, they'll catch on.
So we're going to take a quick break here. That's very impressive work you've done. And we're going to come back and I want to talk about your words.
Okay.
On
For over a century, the New Journal and Guide has been the heartbeat of Hampton Roads, delivering news that shapes our community and resonates beyond. As the South's oldest Black-owned newspaper, we chronicle stories that matter, from local triumphs to national milestones, celebrating the rich tapestry of the African-American experience, history, present, and future in one subscription. Stay informed and empowered. Subscribe today at thenewjournalandguide.com.
Lift your head, feel the pride, we've come so far. A voice is strong, shining bright.
Okay, we're back here with Miss Annette Dunbar, CEO of S.O.C.K.S, Saving Our Community Kids Services. And we now want to talk about the Humanitarian Award and the Unsung Hero Award. How do you feel after receiving these awards?
Humbled. Very much so. I guess, especially the Humanitarian Award, what happened was some other people outside of the church happened to see my resume and found out some of the things that I do with the kids, because we were working on some different projects outside of the church. And the ladies, one lady was president of the Hotel Association, the other was president of the Restaurant Association. They submitted my information. And one of the newscasters' wife saw the information and she submitted that, and I won unanimously. And so it kind of humbled me, because here I am. I was doing what Jesus was telling us to do, to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, and take care of the poor. And now they call it community service.
Wow.
So I was so humbled, because when I looked at the names of the people who were on the list, like Tony Brothers and Maya Angelou, and now my name is up there, I was like, oh my God, it was just so humbling that it was just really God, because after you go through so many years, you're not even paying attention that you're doing these things. When other people look at it, they're like, oh my God, you're doing all of this? And so my name was submitted, but it really humbled me, because it was just God just showing me, hey, here's an award. Even though I'm waiting for my reward from God, but here on earth, he sent people to do that for me, and it just really humbled me.
Wow.
It made me want to work even more.
So you're walking in the divine, and
Yes.
It's just happening.
Yes, it's just happening, just like, wow, where is this coming from?
Could you tell me about your most memorable experience from your outreach? Something that you really can't shake off, good or bad?
Oh, good. I remember working with Pharrell's camp. We did the pilot program for the camp, and there were children, like in the summertime, a lot of the kids come to be with their parents. And I remember this one group of kids, they were like sitting in each other's lap. And I told some of the teachers, I said, hey, have y'all noticed that these kids more afraid than the other kids? So speaking with the kids, they were like, yeah, my mom lives in another state, and we're with our dad for the summer. And I said, well, I tell you what, we'll be your mom and dad while you're here. And the very next day, they all were separated, smiling, having a wonderful time. And that just stuck with me even till this day. Just to look at the beautiful smiles, because we could never get them to smile or separate. But when I look back at the pictures and just look at their beautiful smiles, I was like, oh, wow, just those few words was able to help someone else. So that's one of my best memories.
If one of the listeners would say, wow, I'm impressed, I want to get involved, what's their next step?
Email us at sockservices@yahoo.com. just email us, or either you can call at 757-992-0630. You can call or text, and we'll get back with you. And we would love to connect. How a lot of the other businesses got connected with us. And it depends on what part of the year. Let's just say if it's Christmas time, then we're working on Christmas. If it's school time, we're working on something for school. And so they can connect with us. We can tell them, just what's needed or what program we're working on at that particular time, and tell them, come on aboard. We will have a ball.
What has been your greatest source of strength during difficult times?
My greatest source of strength during any time is God. There have been times that I didn't know which way to go. And when I prayed and even connected with my prayer warriors or prayer, if you pray, I'm telling you, whatever the situation, the obstacle, God will make the way plain for you. But that has been my greatest source of strength, because if God wasn't backing me, I wouldn't be in here doing so many different things.
I understand that.
As long as I know that He is my rock, hey, I can go forward.
Wow.
But that has been my greatest from the beginning, even till now. From 8 years old, even to now, getting ready to turn 25.
You almost slipped up there.
But that has been my greatest source of strength, because when man fails, when anything else fails, God has always been a steady constant in my life.
So I'm going to say thank you. Is there anything you want to include?
Yeah, anybody that
some thank yous.
Oh yeah, I want to thank you to all of the community. Thank you to the Humanitarian, the VCIC with the Humanitarian Awards. I always want to thank Pharrell for giving me an opportunity to work with the youth in the community with his summer camp. And that was like huge to me, because that was the first time outside of the church that I was able to run a whole camp for 6 weeks. And so that remains a staple in my life. I want to thank the pastors. My first pastor was Bishop Bonnet Thurgood, and then Pastor Adam Thurgood, and now Pastor Y.D. Thurgood. So these men gave me opportunities to do different things here in the community and in the church. And also the city council, the church members, different businesses that partnered with us. I just want to say thank you. Shamin Hotels, they have been wonderful, and so I just want, people, I told you, people have just started connecting like a magnet. And I want to thank the Journal and Guide for giving me an opportunity to even share what we do here in the community.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate your time. So. All right, Annette Dunbar, CEO of S.O.C.K.S, Saving Our Community Kids
Mighty
Services.
hearts in our chest, we stand tall. Through the storm, through the night, we won't fall. Every step, every breath, we give it all. In unity, we answer the call. Raise the banner high, let it touch the